Okay, so today I'm going through the Catholic High School end of year examination for P5 Paper 2 for the year 2024. So let's begin. Question 1. Tickets for a theme park were sold at 20% discount. The price of 4 tickets before discount was $196. What was the discount for 1 ticket? All right, so this one, right? 4 tickets, the total price before discount is $196. So they're looking for the discount for 1 ticket. So we look for the original price for 1 ticket before discount first. You will take 196 divided by 4 to find the original price of 1 ticket. Okay, so take note, this is paper 2, so you can use your calculator. You will get $49. All right, so take note, this price is before discount. The original price is always 100%. So I'll put 100% is $49. Okay, always we have to look for 1%. Then I'll put $49 divided by 100. We will get 49 cents. For this question, they're asking for the discount. Discount here is the 20%. All right. If the question is asking for discounted price, meaning after discount, how much is it? Then it will be 80% if the question is asking for discounted price. Okay, so 20% is the discount and 80% is discounted price. So you need to read the question carefully. Okay, for this question, they're asking for the discount, which is 20%. So I will take 20 times the 49 cents. We will get our answer, $9.80. Okay. Okay, let's move on to question 2. The table below shows the number of sports played by each pupil in a group. Part of a table is covered in an in block. So there were 157 pupils who played at least 2 sports. Okay, so you have the table here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then so there's 12 pupils who play 0 sports, 71 pupils who plays 1 sports, and 112 students who plays 2 sports. So this one here is being covered up by the ink. So here the question tells us there's 157 pupils who played at least 2 sports. Okay, at least 2 sports. At least means 2 or more. So in this case, it can be 2 sports, 3 sports, or 4 sports. Okay, so there's total 157 pupils. So we look at the table here. Each statement is either true, false, or not possible to tell, okay, based on the information above. So we have to read the statement and identify whether the statement, which one are we supposed to choose. So the first statement, there were 240 pupils in the group. Okay. So remember, they tell us there were 157 pupils who played at least 2 sports, meaning 2 or more, meaning this category here. Okay, so this category here is 157. So now I want to find the total. They say is 240 pupils, right? So let me find the total for 3 and 4 sports first. Okay, to find that one, let me write down total pupils who played 3 or 4 sports. I will have to take the total 157 minus the 112, which is for the 2 sports. So this I will get 45. All right, so meaning this 2 here, the 3 and 4 sports, we will get total is 45. But I don't know how many each for each. Right, so now if I want to find the total pupils, I just add this one, this one, this one, and this one, and see whether it is 240. So I got no space, just let me write here. Total pupils. I will take 12 plus 71 plus my 112 plus my 45. Okay. Or actually, I could have just taken 12 plus 71 plus 157. Okay, that is also all right. You've gotten the answer faster. Okay, but there's a reason why I want to find is 45 for my second statement later. Okay, but either way, I can find the total pupils. So I add these four numbers together, I will get 240, meaning this statement is true because the total pupils is 240. All right, so now I look at the second statement. Number of pupils who played 3 sports was equal to number of pupils who played 4 sports. Okay, so just now I have found my total students who played 3 sports and 4 sports is 45. Okay, so yes, it's true that I don't know how many, okay, are playing 3, how many of them are playing 4 sports. Okay, but let's say I want to find that whether they are equal. So equal means they have to be the same, right? So let me try taking 45 divided by 2. I will get 45 divided by 2, I'll get 22.5. So for 22.5, right, number of students, number of pupils, it is impossible, okay, to have 22.5 pupils. All right. So for this case, since it's not possible for either the 3 sports or 4 sports to be 22.5, this statement must be false because we cannot have 22.5 pupils. All right. So that it's not possible for them to be equal number. Okay, so this is the answer for question 2, true and false. Okay, with this, let's move on to the next question. Let me clear first. All right, question 3 is an average question, which is not in the P5 syllabus, so we will skip this question. So let's move on to question 4. So Mr. Ng bought 3 types of stationery. The prices are given below. The table shows the number of each type of stationery Mr. Ng bought. Okay, so in this table here, we have pen, all right, and then one pen is $1.20. He bought 8 of them. And then there's notepads. Each notepad is 90 cents. He bought 14 of them. And then there's also erasers. Each eraser is 55 cents and he bought 18 of them. So part A, which type of stationery did Mr. Ng spend the most on? So we have to find the total amount spent on each type of stationery. So for the pen, he bought 8 and 1 is 120, right? So I'll take 8 times $1.20. We will get $9.60. And next, the notepads is 14 times 90 cents. I will get $12.60. And then for the erasers, he bought 18 of them and each of them is 55 cents. So the total price for the erasers will be $9.90. Okay, so the one that he spent the most on will be this one, which is the notepads. Okay, take note, they're asking on which type of stationery, not asking how much he spent. All right, so now let's move on to part B. How much did he spend on all the stationery together? So I just add the $9.60 plus $12.60 plus $9.90. Okay, I add these 3 numbers together, I will get my answer, $32.10. Okay, so the answer for part B is $32.10. Right? So with this, let's move on to the next question. Okay, question 5. The solid is made out of 9 unit cubes. Draw the top view and the side view of the solid. So top view and side view. Okay, so top view is from the top. So let's look at the surfaces that are from the top view, all right? So from the top, I will see this one, this surface, this one here, this here, and this 3 cubes here. All right. So from the top view, it's like a H. So how I will draw it is like this. Okay, so for this, you use ruler, okay? So of course, for me, I'll just shade it like that. Okay, so that's the answer for the top view. And then we have the side view. The side view is from here. So let me just erase. And we will do for the side view. Okay, so the surfaces, they are facing the side view. From this direction here, we here, 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 and then I have this one and this one as well. All right, all these behind, they are the same, they are being blocked by this one. So this one don't need to what? So it's just like a inverted L that looks like this. All right, so I have 3 at the bottom, and then in the last row, I have like that 2 more upwards. Okay, so this is how I would shade for the side view. So with this, let us move on to the next question. Okay, question 6. 2 soccer balls cost as much as 3 volleyballs. Mr. Lim bought 2 soccer balls and 4 volleyballs for $266. Find the total cost of 2 such soccer balls. Right, so for this question, we are given the first comparison is 2 soccer balls cost as much as means equal to 3 volleyballs. So I'll write down 2S is equals to 3V. The next, they tell us 2 soccer balls and 4 volleyballs is $266. So I'll write that down as well. 2S, which is soccer balls, plus 4V, which is for the volleyballs, is equals to $266. And then for this question, they are looking for the total cost of 2 soccer balls. So if the question is asking for soccer balls only, means that we have to get rid of the volleyballs. All right, we cannot have a combination of soccer and volleyballs. So how do we get rid of volleyballs is we have to make the number of volleyballs on this side and this side, this two equation, we have to make the number of volleyballs the same. All right, so looking at 3 and 4, to find the common multiple, the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4 is 12. So how do we get 12 from 3? We have to times 4. And this one here, the left-hand side, we also have to multiply by 4. So 2S times 4, we will get 8 soccer balls. And then this one is my 12 volleyballs. All right, so same thing. This one, I want to get my 12 volleyballs, right? Meaning I have to times 3. When I multiply by 3 to this whole equation, every single thing here on this equation, I have to multiply by 3. So my 2S times 3, I'll get 6S, plus this one will be 12 volleyball. This $266, I also have to multiply by 3. You key into your calculator, you will get $798. Okay, so now with the volleyballs being the same, right? I can do my replacement already because I want to get rid of my volleyball. Okay, so my soccer ball is still, I want to keep it. And then my volleyball, I have to replace. So 12 volleyball is equals to 8 soccer ball. So this one, I will change it to 8 soccer balls. Okay? And then this one, the $798 is still the same. So you see the only thing here is I replaced the 12 volleyball to 8 soccer ball because I found here is 12 volleyball is equals to 8 soccer ball. So you see now here, everything I've changed it to soccer balls already. So 6 soccer balls plus 8 soccer balls will give me 14 soccer balls is $798. Then always find one soccer ball. I will just take $798 divided by 14. That will give me $57. The question is asking for 2 soccer balls, so that will be 2 times $57. That will give us our answer, $114. Okay, so that's the answer for question 6. Okay, this involves a replacement. Okay, let's move on. Okay. A rectangular tank 70 cm long by 35 cm wide by 30 cm high is filled up with water up to 3/5 of its height. Water is then poured into the tank until it is filled with 58 liters of water. Find the amount of water that was poured into the tank. Give your answer in liters. Okay, so for this question, right, originally, this tank here, 70 cm long, 35 cm wide, and 30 cm high, is only filled up to 3/5 of its height. Okay, originally. Then you pour in some water until eventually it's 58 liters. So for this question, let's find the original volume first. Okay, the original volume is only 3/5 its height. Meaning, how to find the volume? I take the length times the breadth times the height times 3/5 because it's only 3/5 filled. Okay, we key this into your calculator, we will get 44,100. So take note, this is all in cm, so meaning is in your cubic centimeters. So cubic centimeters is the same as your milliliters. So this one is actually 44,100 ml. Okay, this one, right, because the eventual volume in the tank is 58 liters. So I need to actually convert this ml into liters. So how do I convert ml to liters? I just need to divide by 1000. So you divide by 1000, you will get 44.1 liters. So this is the original volume of water in the tank at first. The eventual in the end is 58 liters. So how to find out how much water was poured? I just take the final minus the initial. Okay, so I will just label as volume of water poured into tank. I just take the final minus the initial water at first, which is 44.1. We will get 13.9 as our answer. So our answer is 13.9 liters. All right. So take note, the question wants you in liters. That's why I converted it into liters here. So that I can just do the subtraction and that will be our final answer. Okay, so this question is pretty straightforward. Just make sure you know this one. If you find the volume 3/5, you just straight away times 3/5. All right. No need to take this, then divide by 5, then times 3. This is a faster way of doing it since we have our calculator. All right. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, question 8 here is also a ratio question, okay, which is not in the P5 syllabus, so I will skip this question. So now let's move on to question 9. So question 9, in the square grid below, PQ and QR are straight lines. So part A, measure and write down the size of angle PQR. So this one, right, just make sure you use your protractor. The answer for this one, for part A, okay, if you measure correctly, you will get the answer 70 degrees. Okay, don't forget the units. Wait, let me write this clearer. This one is 70 degrees. Okay, for part A. Sorry. Okay, for part B, PQ and QR form two sides of a parallelogram PQRS. PQ is parallel to RS. Complete the drawing of parallelogram PQRS. So now they have given us PQ, which is here, and then QR, which is here. Okay, so these are your two sides of a parallelogram. So then they tell you PQ is parallel to RS. So PQ is here, and then RS, this one, you take note. When they name this PQRS means it's gonna go either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So this one is clockwise, PQR, so S is somewhere here. Okay, I don't know exactly where, but you need to know R then S is here. So PQRS, so this one, the two lines opposite must be parallel. Okay, so first thing, we look at this one. S is just somewhere here. So let me just get rid of it first. Just giving you a brief idea of where S is supposed to be located at. So now let's draw the parallel lines. So for PQ, right, you see do I reach from P to Q? I actually go 3 blocks to the right, or 3 units to the right, and 2 units up. Okay? So I repeat, from P to Q, I actually go 3 units to the right and 2 units up. Okay? And then this one here, so right, S to R, I don't know where is S up, but S to R will also have to be the same direction, 3 units to the right and 2 units up. Okay, so R is here, so I will do backwards, work backwards. Okay, so this one, since I'm going up by 2, from R, I will go down 2 units. And then, since this is going from left to right, if I want to work backwards, it will be right to left, 3 units like that. Okay, so my S is over here. Okay, 2 units down and then 3 units to the left. Okay, so you double check. S to R, is it 3 units to the right and 2 units up? Yes, correct. Okay, so means it's the same direction as my P to Q. 3 units to the right and 2 units up. Okay, so this one, right? So this line here, I'll draw it like that. Okay, never mind, I can't. Please, students, when you do this question, please, construction of all these lines, you have to use your ruler. Okay, because this one impossible for me to use ruler. So I just have to draw freehand. Okay, so S is here. I will draw here to here. R is supposed to meet at this point here. And then, right, my PS, I'm just gonna connect my P to S like that. Okay, so I just want to double check. My PS and my QR, right, is supposed to be parallel to each other. So what do you have to do? I just want to double check. My Q to my R, it's 1 unit to the right and 4 units down. You see here, 1 unit to the right and 4 units down. I just want to double check for my P to S, is it also the same? Yes, you see 1 unit to the right and 4 units down. So it's the same. All right, so this means that my PS is parallel to my QR, and then my PQ is parallel to SR. So this is my parallelogram. So let me just erase all the lines so that you see what's the final. Okay, so my lines are not exactly straight, but my S is supposed to be here, this point here. And then you just draw and connect. Okay, and then you label S. So that's my answer for 9B. Okay, let me just draw nicer so that I try to make sure that it connects to S, and then my S connects to my R. Okay, for you guys, you please use your ruler. So let's move on. Okay. Question 10, PQR and SRU are triangles. So angle RPQ is 40 degrees, angle PQR is 102 degrees, and angle TSQ is 18 degrees. Find angle PUT. So angle PUT here, the one that question is wants is this one. Okay, so the question tells us PQR. Okay, so PQR is a triangle, and then SRU is another triangle. Okay, so all the angles here are already labeled in your diagram. So let's look at the first triangle first. So triangle PQR, right? I have one angle, two angles, so I can find the last angle, which is angle QRP first. Okay, I take 180 degrees. Remember, in a triangle, it always add up to 180 degrees. I minus my 102 degrees. I minus my 40 degrees. I will get 38 degrees. Okay, so this one I can label it here, 38 degrees. Let me just erase the circles. Okay, so now let's look at the other triangle, SRU. SRU. So now just now I found the 38 degrees, right? And then now, given 18 degrees, I can find this angle here. So I can find this last angle here, this one. So that is angle SUR. Same thing, the total, right, is 180 degrees. I subtract 18 degrees and my 38 degrees. This is a 3. 38 degrees. I will get 124 degrees, meaning I can now, this one is 124 degrees, right? And then take note, this one is a straight line. Your PUR is a straight line. So angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. So now I can find my angle PUT. I simply take the 180 degrees minus my 124 degrees. I'll get the answer, 56 degrees. Okay, so the answer for question 10 will be 56 degrees. Don't forget your units. Okay, so that's all for question 10. We will move on. Question 11. A tank was completely filled with water. A pump was turned on for some time to drain out water from the tank. The line graph shows the volume of water in the tank over 40 minutes. Okay, so take note, for this one here, you see a straight line. Okay, and water is being drained out of this tank. So you see here, the water decreases, right? Meaning it's being drained out. So you need to look at this and see whether you understand, okay, based on what the question gives you in the scenario above. So with that, let's look at part A. How much water was drained out of the tank in 1 minute? So looking at this one here is from the graph here, this line graph here is from 0 to 40. Okay, so this one I would actually look at the total volume that is being drained in 40 minutes, then I find 1 minute. So looking at the initial at 0 minutes, right? The volume, this one is in liters, this one is volume is 700. So at 0 minutes is 700 liters. At 40 minutes, okay, this one is at 300 liters. So like I've mentioned, this one is a straight line, so it's a constant rate. Okay, meaning water is being drained out at a constant rate. The rate didn't change. So 40 minutes, it went from 700 liters to 300 liters, right? So meaning, okay, let me write down this again. So meaning in 40 minutes, sorry, why is my handwriting? So in 40 minutes, the water went from 700 liters to 300 liters. So the water that was being drained out is 700 minus 300. So 400 liters of water was being drained out in 40 minutes. Then the question is asking for 1 minute. So I simply just take 400 divided by 40. We will get 10. So the answer is 10 liters. Okay, I repeat, at 0 minutes, it was at 700 liters. And then at 40 minutes, it was 300 liters. So meaning the water that was drained out is 400 because you take the initial minus the final. So part B, at the same rate, how long will it take for the water to be completely drained out of the tank after the 40 minutes? So same thing, at the end of the 40 minutes, there's still 300 liters of water left in the tank. So they're asking how long it will take for 300 liters of water to be drained out at the same rate in part A. So the rate in part A is given to be, we found is 10 liters, right? So total, we need to drain out 300 liters after the 40 minutes. We want to find how many minutes. We simply take the 300 divide by the 10 liters per minute. That will give us our answer, 30 minutes. Okay, so we take the total, divide by the 1 minute, which is 10 liters. So we will get our answer, 30 minutes. my handwriting here. Okay, let's move on. Question 12. ABCD is a rhombus and DCEF is a parallelogram. DGC is a straight line. So for rhombus, right, you need to know that all the sides are equal, okay? And then opposite sides are parallel. Similar to parallelogram, just that this one rhombus a bit special is because all four sides are equal. And then they tell us DCEF is a parallelogram. So DCEF is a parallelogram. So this one meaning this one also parallel. And then this one is also equals to this length. Okay, because for parallelogram, opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. And then this DE and DF must also be parallel. So this one, I will just put it as 3 arrows. Okay, because 1, 2, 3 is all taken out now. Okay, so for part A, we have to find angle CEF. So angle CEF is this angle here. So what we do is first, this one here is this is the full circle, which is angles at a point, which is total it will be 360 degrees. So I will find this angle on the inside first. So angle DFE equals to 360 degrees minus my 230 degrees. We will get 130 degrees. Okay, so this one, just let me remove this. So now this one is a parallelogram. So you need to identify that here we have the C shape. Let me use another color. Okay, parallel lines are the angles between two parallel lines add up to 180. So here, this two angle here, this angle and this angle add up to 180 degrees. So since we know one of them is 130, to find my angle CEF, I simply just take 180 minus 130. So let me write it down. Angle CEF equals to 180 minus my 130 degrees. We will get our answer 50 degrees. Okay, so I repeat. So here we have the C is two parallel lines, right? So between two parallel lines, the two angles will add up to 180 degrees. So this one here and this one here will be 180 degrees. So to find one of them, I simply just take the total minus 130. Okay, then we move on to part B. Find angle DBG. Angle DBG is this angle over here. So first thing first, right? You need to know that this one here, let me use another color. This one here, this triangle here, my triangle BCD is an isosceles triangle because I mentioned just now for rhombus, all four sides are equal, meaning these two sides are equal to each other. So this is an isosceles triangle. And then since we have the angle on top, I can find this angle here. Okay, because this angle and this angle, they are equal, right? So I can find one of the base angles. So let me write down my angle BDC is equals to 180 minus 100 degrees divided by 2. Okay, because this is an isosceles triangle. So I will get 40 degrees. So this angle is 40 degrees. Okay, so now the question wants us to find DBG, right? So this one here is also another triangle, you see? So I just need to take 180 minus these two angles here. That will give us our angle DBG. Okay, let me write it down. 180 degrees. I minus my 128 degrees. I minus my 40 degrees that I've just found. I'll get my last angle in my triangle, which is equals to 12 degrees. So the answer for part B will be 12 degrees. Okay, let's clear my drawing and I'll move on to the next question. Question 13. At a charity bake sale, each person bought either 2 muffins, 5 muffins, or 7 muffins. 3/10 of people bought 2 muffins, 11/20 of the people bought 5 muffins, and the rest bought 7 muffins. So for part A, this is a ratio question, so I will skip this part. I'll move on to part B. The number of people who bought 2 muffins were 147 more than those who bought 7 muffins. Each muffin was sold at $1.50. How much money was collected from the people who only bought 2 muffins? So this one, right, they give me the comparison between those who bought 2 muffins and those who bought 7 muffins is 147 people. All right, the difference between them. So if I go back to the question, for 2 muffins is 3/10 of the people. For 5 muffins is 11/20 of the people. So I have to find, since this one is comparing 2 muffins and 7 muffins, I have to find the fraction for 7 muffins. So let me just write down 2 muffins, 2m mean 2 muffins. I have 3/10 of the people. And then for 5 muffins, I have 11 out of 20 of the people. So you need to know the total people is the same, but currently my 2 fractions, the denominator is different. So I have to make it the same, so that I can actually match that the total people is the same. So this one to match, make it the same, I have to times 2, right? So I times 2 times 2, I'll get 6 out of 20. So 2 muffins is 6 out of 20 of the people. 5 muffins is 11 out of 20 of the people. So the remaining I have to find is 7 muffins I have to find people who bought 7 muffins. So how to find? I must take one whole. In this case, is 20 out of 20. I minus my 2 muffins, be 6 out of 20. And my people who bought people who bought 5 muffins is 11 out of 20. So 20 out of 20 minus 6 out of 20 minus 11 out of 20, that will give me 3 out of 20 of the people who bought 7 muffins. So now I can compare the 2 muffins and the 7 muffins, right? Which is here and here. So I just take 6 out of 20, subtract 3 out of 20. I will have 3 out of 20. So 3 out of 20 of the people will correspond to 147. So let me write it down. 3 out of 20 is 147. And then I always have to find 1 out of 20. It's like just like finding 1 unit. So I take 147, I divide by 3. That will give me 49. So the question is asking how much money was collected from the people who only bought 2 muffins. Remember, 2 muffins is 6 out of 20. I will take 6 times 49. It will be 294 people. This one is people who actually got 2 muffins. The question is not asking how many people. The question is asking how much money did they collect from the people who bought the 2 muffins. So if there's 294 people buying 2 muffins, let's find the total muffins bought by this group of people first. I will take 294 multiplied by 2 because they each got 2 muffins. We will get 588 muffins. And then the question says 1 muffin is $1.50. So to find the total money collected, I will take 588 multiplied by $1.50. So you key in your calculator, you will get the answer $882. So my answer for question 13B will be $882. Okay. Next question. Question 14. Ali received $500 as a prize. He gave $225 to his parents. He saved $123 and used the remaining amount of money to pay for a total of 24 cupcakes and tarts. So part A, they're asking what percentage of the prize money did Ali give to his parents? So we see here he gave $225. So if they're asking what percentage of the prize money he give his parents, the fraction first, right? We have to write it as a fraction first. So it will be parents over the total money that he got times 100%. Okay, because we have to change my fraction to a percentage. So parents is 225. My total prize money is $500 times 100%. You key this into your calculator, you will get 45%. So that's the answer for part A. Okay, part B, cupcakes were sold at $5 each and tarts were sold at $7 each. How many tarts did Ali buy? So first thing first, they tell us he gave $225 to his parents and saved $123, right? So first we have to find out exactly how much he paid for these 24 cupcakes and tarts. I will take my total money minus the money given to his parents minus the money he saved. So that will be $152. So this amount of money is used to pay for the 24 cupcakes and tarts. And then the question also tells us one cupcake is $5, one tart is $7. But we do not know how many cupcakes, how many tarts. Meaning for this question, we have to do supposition. Okay? So the question is asking for how many tarts, right? So to do supposition, we have to suppose the opposite one, which is suppose all are cupcakes. Let me write down again. Suppose all are cupcakes, which is the opposite of the tarts. So first step, find the total amount. So if all are cupcakes and then one cupcake is $5, total is 24. So it's 24 times $5. That will be $120. Second step of supposition is extra. The actual amount we found is $152. We calculated just now if all our cupcakes is $120. So the extra is 152 minus $120. That will give us $32. All right. Okay, so now we suppose all our cupcakes, but we know that actually there are some tarts. So what I have to do now is I would like to exchange one cupcake to one tart first. So one cupcake is $5, one tart is $7. So my one exchange, when I exchange one cupcake to one tart, the difference in price is $7 minus $2. It's $5. Okay? Sorry. This one is not $7 minus. This one should be $7 minus $5. The answer is $2 for one exchange. So remember, just now, right? I needed the actual price is $152, but I only counted $120. So I found out that I needed to add another $32. When I exchange one cupcake to one tart, I actually increased by $2. The total I need to increase is $32. So to find how many cupcakes to exchange to the tarts, my last step is to find number of exchanges. Okay, so remember, total I need to increase by $32. One exchange only increased by $2. So to find out how many exchanges I need to make, I take the total, which is $32, divide by the one exchange. This means I have to make 16 exchanges, which means I have to change 16 cupcakes, exchange with 16 tarts. So this one means that this is for the tarts. So my answer will be 16 tarts. All right. Okay, so I repeat, for supposition, if you have the total price, okay, and then the total amount, and then also one tart one cupcake and one tart, meaning the price for each item. Okay, so this 4 information means you have to do supposition already. Okay, so let me clear my drawings and we will move on to the next question. Question 15. A company ordered an equal number of large tubs and small tubs of ice cream for their family day. So we have this diagram here that tells us one large tub is $5 and then 3 small tubs is $8. They paid a total of $112 more for the large tubs of ice cream. Okay, so part A, how many tubs of ice cream did the company order altogether? So this one, just ignore this. So take note here. The question tells us the most important information here is the equal number of large and small tubs. Okay, so we look at how they are being sold now. This one is 1 and this one is 3. Currently, right, it's not equal. So let me write down 1 large is $5. 3 small is $8. What we have to do is we have to make the number of tubs of large and small tubs of ice cream the same. So now it's 1 and 3. So to make it the same, we have to find the lowest common multiple of 1 and 3, which in this case is actually 3 lah. So I have to multiply by 3 to make it 3 large. And then here I also have to multiply by 3 to find the corresponding amount for 3 large tubs of ice cream. So 5 times 3 will give us $15. Okay, sorry, just let me write down this nicer. So this one is 3 large will be equals to $15. So now they are the same, right? My 3 large is matches with 3 small. This will be my one group. So this one is a grouping question. So this is my one group. I have 3 large is $15. And my 3 small, let me write it again. And my 3 small is $8. Sorry. The question also tells me that they paid $112 more for the large tubs of ice cream. So looking at this, right, means that the total difference between the large and the small is 112. We find the difference in one group first. I take $15 minus my $8. Okay, next, for grouping, second set number of groups. I take the total difference divided by the one group difference. I will get 16 groups. Okay, so now I read the question again. How many tubs of ice cream did the company order altogether? Tubs of ice cream. I look at one group. My one group has 3 large and 3 small, right? Meaning my one group total is 3 plus 3, which gives me 6 tubs of ice cream. I find my second step here, I have 16 groups. So I write down 16 groups. Remember, one group, there are 6 tubs of ice cream. So 16 groups would be 16 times 6. We will get our answer, 96 tubs of ice cream. Sorry, just let me. So that's our answer for part A. And then for part B, how much did the company pay for all the small tubs of ice cream? So this one is asking only for the small tubs of ice cream, all right? So I focus on the small tubs here. Let me use another color. Small tubs, right? One group is $8. So I found just now that I have 16 groups. So it will just be 16 times $8. That will give us our answer, $128. So that's the answer for part B. Okay, so with this, so basically this is just a grouping question. So once you establish the 4 steps for grouping, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so the thing is you need to make the number of the number of large tubs and small tubs the same. In this case, it's 3 and 3. Okay, let's clear my drawing and move on to the next question. Okay, question 16. Mrs. Lee bought some star-shaped keychains, square-shaped keychains, and pens. Mrs. Lee spent 3/7 of her money on the star-shaped keychains and 5/12 of her remaining money on 15 square-shaped keychains. The rest of her money was spent on the pens. So, part A, what fraction of her money did she spend on the pens? So let's go back to the question first. It says here, Mrs. Lee spent 3/7 of her money on the star-shaped keychains and 5/12 of the remaining money on the square-shaped keychains. So whenever you encounter questions with this phrasing here, 5/12 of the remaining or 5/12 of the remainder, or like a fraction of remaining or fraction of remainder, is your biggest hint for you to draw a model for such questions. Okay, so how to draw the model, we'll look at the first fraction first, which is 3/7 of her money. Meaning her total money, you will have to draw 7 units. So let me draw 7 units for her total money. Three seven means 3 units will be for the star shape. This part here must be the remaining. Okay, then we move on to look at the second fraction. It tells us 5/12 of the remaining money on 15 square-shaped keychains. So with this, right, currently the remainder is 4 units. But if you look at the new denominator for the second fraction, it's 12 units, which is different. This means that we have to draw a drop-down model to represent the 12 units. So let me draw like this, okay? So we have 12. So 5 out of the 12 is for your 15 square shape, right? So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is for my square shape keychains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning the remaining one will be for the pens. Here to here, I will label it pen. Okay, so whenever we draw this kind of drop-down model, right, we need to look at the part that is equal, which is from here to here, right? So for the top, I have 4 units, and the bottom, I have 12 units. So to make them equal, I have to find the lowest common multiple, LCM, of 4 and 12, okay, which is 12. So I have to make the total on top 12 units. The bottom is really 12 units, so I need not do anything. So to find out how much is each one, I just simply take 12 divided by 4, which is 3. So each one here needs to be 3 units in order to make the total from here to here, 12. Okay, since this one is 3 units, this one, since they're equal, right, this one I also label as 3U. Okay, the question is asking what fraction of money did she spend on the pen? The pen is over here. So let me count the pen. How many units is it? All right, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 7 units for the pens, and then out of all her money. So total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3U, I will get 21U, right? Just now I counted the pens is 7, so it's 7 out of 21. Simplest form will be 1/3. That's our answer for part A. And then part B, how many keychains did she buy altogether? So here, right, just now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units is, the question already tells us 15. We always find 1 unit. So take 15 divided by 5, I will get 3. The questions say keychains altogether. So star, it's 3, 6, 9, 9 units. And then my square, it's 5 units. So total is 14 units. So to find the total, I just simply take 14 times my 3. We will get the answer 42. So my answer for part B will be 42 keychains. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, question 17 is the last question for this paper. The first 3 figures of a pattern are as shown below. So you have figure 1, figure 2, and figure 3. The table below shows the number of shaded squares and unshaded squares used for each figure. So they've already written down here. Figure 1, you have 4 shaded, 5 unshaded. Figure 2, 7 shaded, 8 unshaded. Figure 3, 10 shaded, and 11 unshaded. So question 4, figure 4, part A, we have to complete the table for figure 4. So what we do now is we look at the pattern here. Okay, to fill up this one, you see this is 4, then 7, then 10. So from 4 to 7, we actually plus 3. From 7 to 10, we also plus 3. So to fill up the next one for figure 4, number of shaded squares, we also just plus 3 because that's the pattern. Okay, so for part A, I simply take 10 plus 3. I'll get 13. Okay, let me just write down this neater. This one also plus 3, which is 13. Then now we look at the second column, my number of unshaded squares. From 5 to 8, I also plus 3. 8 to 11, also plus 3. And then 11, also plus 3, I'll get how many unshaded squares. So I'll take 11 plus 3 equals to 14. Okay, so that's how I fill out for figure 4. Another faster way, right, is you see the shaded and unshaded. The unshaded is always one more. So you see 4 plus 1, 7 plus 1, 10 plus 1, you will get this. So same thing, if you get 13, you can also take 13 plus 1, you also get 14. So that will be the answer for part A. So for part B, find the total number of unshaded squares for figure 47. So the question is asking you to find the total of unshaded squares for figure 47. So meaning we have to look at this column here and try to find out what is figure 47, right? So like I said, we need to look at the pattern here. From one figure to the next, you always plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So you must treat the plus 3, right? Number of times you plus 3 like the intervals. So from figure 1 to figure 47, okay, how many intervals are there? It will be let me write down. So from figure 1 to figure 47, to find the number of intervals, we always take the bigger number minus the smaller number. We will get 46 intervals, meaning from figure 1 to figure 47, right, we actually plus 3 46 times. So one interval is 3 because every time each one is plus 3, right? So one interval is 3. We have 46 intervals, right? Like I mentioned, we actually plus 3 46 times. So there'll be 46 intervals, be 46 times 3, we will get 138. Okay, but that's not all because, right, you need to remember there's this figure 1. Okay, so we have to take 138 plus the figure 1 because the 138, right, is accumulator of all the plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So we have to add back the original figure 1 that didn't come from the plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. We will get our answer 143. So our answer for question 17B will be 143. Okay, so with this, I've come to the end of this session. Thank you.